My name is Cody Drywater, and I was raised in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. I joined active duty Army February 8th, 2007. I then went to Iraq in 2008, 2009, returned from Iraq and went on my second deployment to Afghanistan in 2010, 2011, returned from Afghanistan and then went back 2012, 2013. And upon my return from my third deployment, that's when I made a decision to go ahead and get out of active duty Army service. Grandfather Richard Drywater was in the military as well, and I definitely looked up to him growing up, and I definitely knew I wanted to mold myself into a man in his image as well. And that's where I think my first military idea had come from. Once I was in, and I experienced traveling around the world, seeing different parts of the world, the different mentalities and people and things that people go through and experiences, it definitely gave me a sense of just not pride of being an American, pride of being a Native American, and definitely just not to take for granted some of the things that I might have as a younger person. I definitely seen people in situations that are far worse than I could imagine, and that definitely brought some light to me, to never take anything for granted of what you have. Always be proud of the things that you do have. Some of the advice I might give to some young people today is I would say think beyond yourself. Some of the choices that you might make as a person or individual are much greater than that. A lot of choices that you make growing up won't just affect yourself, but the people around you, the society that you live in, the community that you live in, the people that you represent, your family name that you represent as well, and even your family members and your friends. The choices that you make, whether they're good or bad, will always have an impact on not just yourself, but definitely a much larger picture. So my advice would be to think, sometimes before you make a decision, think about those consequences. Being a Cherokee citizen means a lot to me. There's so much heritage and culture behind it, and it's just something to be very proud in. When I tell new friends that I make throughout life, they always ask me about my last name, Drywater, and it's always an icebreaker for me. Like, well, I'm actually Native American. I'm Indian. I'm from Oklahoma. People love to hear about it, and it gives me a lot of pride being able to, pass that kind of information and knowledge on to others.